Yeah.
All right. There you go. We're on now. Yeah, I
Yes.
can. You don't want to watch Twilight.
Hell.
What the sci-fi?
How's everyone doing today?
Welcome, Chris.
I'm Jason. This is What the Sci-Fi.
Episode 2. How was your week, man?
It was pretty good. I was trying to get ready for this as much as I could, and then I forgot my car keys again. But I got some notes here.
Oh shit. Yeah, you got a whole page of notes there. Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm just gonna go in whatever kind of order we got here.
Okay.
But I'm watching Discovery Season 1. I watched I tried to watch the very last episode just to see Enterprise in it.
Yeah. Can you hear me too much?
No, I can hear the fan pretty good.
Oh. And what do you think of it so far? Just on what you're seeing in Discovery?
Well, it's not very good. I don't like it. They messed up a lot of things in Discovery. I finished the Season 1. Well, you watched the rest of it when I was getting ready for this.
Yeah. Now, is it the writing that's the worst?
Yeah, the writing's the worst. The character acting is pretty bad. Michael Burnham's the leader of it. She's
She was in The Walking Dead, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but she didn't have a really big character in that.
Yeah.
And then she
But she did good though. She did good in that
Oh, did she?
show though.
I didn't really care for Walking Dead after so many things had happened.
Okay.
I think right around the time with the dude with the hammer, with the Neelix, or what was his name? That was actually Negan, yeah.
Negan.
That was 2016 because that was the time that that's when Dave Chappelle came out with his
That was hilarious.
the Saturday Night Live, yeah. Yeah, that was good.
He can be gone for like 10 years and then he can come back and just still be as prevalent as he ever was, if not even more. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I liked his specials. I've always been a big Chappelle fan.
Yeah. Since we're talking about comedians and everything, the other day I was actually on Netflix and I watched 2 of Joe Rogan's specials that he had on Netflix.
Oh yeah, did you see the Strange Times one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strange Times, dude. But I like that one, but the first one, I can't remember what it was called. Triggered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That one was pretty, I mean, it was good. It was just the ending. I was like, dude, this is getting kind of freaky, like the whole demon kind of thing.
I think I'd have to rewatch it.
Okay.
I don't quite remember it.
But that other one, what was the other one you said?
Strange Times.
Strange Times. That one was hilarious, dude. Like he was talking about near the end, he was talking about the different inventions that men and women have made and everything. It was pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, what was that one girl that he had on there on his show? The weird one?
Which one? Miley Cyrus?
No, she's not a comedian. But the blonde-haired girl.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Nikki Glaser.
Oh, yeah.
Nikki Glaser. Yeah.
She was kind of funny.
She was. Yeah, man, like, I really enjoyed it. And I'm really, we follow Joe Rogan on Instagram and all that stuff. At least I know I do. But
Well, I saw his last couple posts. I follow him, but I don't really see a lot. He doesn't post a lot. It doesn't seem like
he doesn't post too much. But it was kind of cool to see his new studio in Texas. I don't know where in Texas he is, but Austin. But it was kind of cool to see the new studio and how it looks a little bit more like a starship kind of, it was kind of cool to see his whole setup. And I started watching I kind of had to force myself to actually start watching it on Spotify because I just got so used to watching him on YouTube and listening it to him on iHeartRadio, in my truck and everything. But
I think you can get the Spotify app on your TV.
really,
Yeah. Spotify app.
that's pretty interesting.
There
Yep, you're right.
you There you go.
We're pretty far behind.
Yeah, I'm messing with the Fire Stick. I do want to get a new remote for it because then that way.
That'd be pretty cool to have that in the studio. Just have a TV there and just like look stuff up right on the TV. Just
The thing is that the studio has no Wi-Fi, so
yeah,
I would need some kind of hotspot or something.
yeah. But it was kind of cool though. Like listening to him on Spotify was a different experience. Like usually with iHeartRadio, you just listen to him on audio, but on Spotify, you can actually watch the video, and I can click off, click my phone off and still listen to it. With iHeartRadio, I couldn't do that.
Well, you couldn't watch the video.
Yeah, you can't watch a video on iHeartRadio. It's just audio.
Right. And that's how I was listening to him. I think you were the one that told me to listen to it on iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
And because YouTube, you can't click it off unless you're paying for the app.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna pay for YouTube.
Oh hell no, man.
No.
Hell no. I mean, yeah, they got 2 ads that you have to watch and all that stuff, but dude, it's like 10 seconds. Come on, really? We were like last week. We had more of a scheduled kind of. Well, we talk more about like what we actually want to talk about, but talk about whatever kind of pops up in our mind. Tap devices available, and then tap the device's icon above. Select your TV and start listening. There you go. That's pretty cool, man. We're watching. I guess it's just audio. Oh, damn.
That's got to be a glitch.
Yeah. Wow. Weird.
Now, I'm watching Joe Rogan on the TV, but you can't watch the video, which is kind of defeats the purpose, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I thought you'd be able to do that.
That's on Spotify. Well, maybe it said Spotify. This is all new with Joe Rogan on Spotify, and it's actually new doing video on Spotify. Like, this is just new for Spotify doing video.
Well, Spotify had videos before.
They have.
Yeah.
Because I was under the impression that this is all new to them.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see videos like on the songs, but they'll be the music videos.
Oh.
Or they'll be like these little lyric videos or something. I've seen it before, and I thought we'd be able to see the video on here.
Weird. We were Jason and I were talking a couple days ago on the phone, and we were talking about how we wanted to talk about with this show. We can talk about music, how far music has come. We can talk about technology, how far technology has come. So let's talk about that. Do you want to talk about like technology and how we might see it going into towards the future and everything like that? If that can pertain to shows, music. I think that would be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
Okay. So let's do it. I was this was several years back where one of my friends said that they actually have the technology now to make lightsabers. And I was like, that generates a lot of power. And he was saying, yeah, it takes like a whole room full of engines. Like, think of it like a whole room full of engine power to create like a little lightsaber.
Oh, I might have seen something like that.
And I was like, yeah, but that little lightsaber can cut through any fucking thing.
The thing with lightsabers is why they think it's a uh, like you really can't do it is because how would the light stop?
Ah,
Yeah,
that's a good point. I actually never thought of that.
yeah, because if you take a flashlight, it's not like it stops, or a laser, they don't stop; they just keep going.
Right.
You know. I do have something kind of on that on my notes, but it's like
Okay.
not about lightsabers, but
Technology.
it was time travel. So, what is your favorite time travel in a movie?
Dude, you know me. Hands down, Back to the Future. That to me is
I think Back to the Future is a good one.
for this fool's 30th birthday. I bought him the 3-disc movie set of Back to the Future for his 30th. It was the 30th edition.
Yeah, I have.
Pretty cool.
I have that. Yeah, thank you. You know, I like a lot of time travel. I like, I do like Star Trek First Contact as far as time travel, or Star Trek Voyage Home is pretty good too. I like those are two my favorite two Star Trek movies. So,
Yeah. Going back to the Future, like when we were kids and we watched that, it was so cool.
yeah,
Back to the Future was rad, man. Like to see like his freedom that Marty had, where he could just get on his skateboard, ride along the back of a freaking police car,
yeah, yeah,
and just ride over to the doc's house and everything. The story was amazing, man. Now, granted, what you say, what do you think of the second one? I think it was actually really good. Like as I got older, I started to more appreciate it more, like the whole kind of espionage kind of part of it,
yeah,
where they had to go into the past and not meet up with their past selves who were there as well.
yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I like that whole part of it. There were some kind of corny parts, but I think for us, I mean, like 1 and 3 was really good.
Yeah, I've always liked 1 and 3. You know, and I'm sure 3 doesn't have a very good reception as much as I liked it, but I like that movie. You know.
Yeah. And you know, since we're talking about time and everything, like we're young as a nation, and you get 3 people who lived 100 years. That's our nation's 3 lifetimes of people. I was like, yeah, we're actually, when you think of it from that perspective, we're actually really young. And I was actually thinking about this. I continually think about this. So I was like, can you imagine what San Diego would have looked like 300-400 years ago? Like it was just more of a natural landscape. Like, well, I mean, San Diego was actually a desert, but
Yeah, well,
and just so you guys know, there was no palm trees here in San Diego at that time.
yeah,
They're all imported. I don't even know where they were imported from.
I'm not sure either. I know Kate Sessions planted a lot of the trees. Like in Balboa Park, there was no, there's really no trees.
Really?
Yeah, I can look that up.
Interesting.
Balboa Park, 19th century picture.
And I actually have,
Sorry,
like,
I'm not sure about that.
in my truck, I have one of my customers that I
Yeah.
work for. He's an artist. No, sorry, a photographer. My apologies. And he has these old pictures of San Diego, what it looked like 100 years ago and everything.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty cool. But I'm thinking like, man, that was pretty cool seeing it what Chula Vista looked like, and with just dirt roads and all that stuff. That was kind of cool. It looked really western, you know. But I'm thinking like, man, what would it be like if like when the Indians lived here, you know, like tribal wars going around. There were probably wars going on all around us where we are at right now, hundreds of years ago, you know, or not.
Yeah.
Just how my mind thinks sometimes. I like to go to Old Town just to see all the historical buildings, the streets, and just think like what could have happened here. The history of it always amazes me.
Yeah.
One of my favorite we can start talking about this, like your favorite historical places to go to, and that for me and my wife, it would be Rome. Like we watch a lot of people who do tours of Rome and everything. Love it.
Yeah.
What about you?
Probably Africa would be cool. Israel,
Yeah.
Ireland, Amsterdam. Uh, Billie Eilish. What is this? Let's see. Oh, I watched Lower Decks earlier.
Yeah. How far did you get before you give up?
This one was probably the better of the 5 that I watched. They did some flashbacks in it. Uh, there was a flashback that the one girl did, and then she was on a ship that looked familiar, and it was kind of it was called an Olympic or a Limbic class ship, and they used it in Star Trek: The Next Generation. But then they also they were on Deep Space Nine, but they were docked at Deep Space Nine.
Oh, so they kind of did like a little homage to it.
Yeah,
That was kind of cool. That's cool.
they docked there. So I don't know if they're sitting on Deep Space Nine, but then they're talking about like current events in the flashback, and then it's talking about an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation, which was Data and Lore, and then Lore was in charge of a group of rogue Borgs, and that's the only. Oh, what happened with that was that the uniforms they were wearing, it wasn't the right time frame because they were wearing the uniforms from First Contact.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, instead of the uniforms from the time that had happened, because they changed the uniforms like every so often.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, so I know we talked a little bit of that in our last podcast where I asked you if that's canon. So you think with what you saw so far that it's more canon towards the Trek universe?
Well, what I'm thinking is that whatever they're gonna write is not gonna really connect to Lower Decks. You know, like they're not gonna bring up, oh well, the ship from Lower Decks, which is called the Cerritos. Like, oh yeah, I was on the Cerritos. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna do that.
So you think they just did it just for fun, or
yeah,
try to get some fans to watch it?
Yeah, try to get new fans and stuff.
Okay. That's a cruel ploy. Cruel ploy, man.
Yeah. Well,
I think the new movies were actually pretty good. He doesn't think as much, but
yeah, I'm not a big fan.
I think it would be cool if they kind of made a new trilogy or saga that kind of interconnected all the Star Treks. You know what I mean? That would be pretty cool. I made it a cinematic universe, kind of like what Marvel does, or something like that. That would be pretty cool, I think.
Well, the thing with Star Trek is that a lot of the ships are in different timelines. So they have Kirk from the 23rd century, which they rebooted. Then they have the Next Generation. Then Voyager and Deep Space Nine are right after that.
They kind of did it in that one Star Trek. I think it was 6 or 7, the one where Kirk and Picard were in the movie together.
Yeah, that was Generations. Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually pretty cool how they did that in the movie.
Right.
Because what is the time frame from Kirk to Picard? That's several hundred years, right?
No, it's about 60, 70 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So because Kirk went into it was like the 2265 to around 2275, about 20 years of Kirk. And then then it's almost 100 years because, or 80 years. I think it's 2345 or 65. I'd have to look it up. Let's see.
But it was kind of cool how Picard kind of right when he saw James T. Kirk, he was kind of in awe, like he knew he was in the presence of a legend, you know?
Yeah.
He was like, "Whoa, this guy's done some shit."
Yeah. And I like that movie. That a lot of people don't like that movie for some reason.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, but I like that movie. I didn't like the other two. I watched Insurrection. I started to like that a little more than I used
I
to.
didn't like Nemesis.
Yeah, I don't like Nemesis. And Tom Hardy's in that.
Yeah, which I actually just found out that's actually Tom Hardy. I was like, what? And I
Yeah.
saw a picture. I was like, damn, man, that fool was young.
Yeah. Yeah, he almost lost his career over
He
that
did,
movie.
but
Yeah.
look at him now. I mean, he's doing pretty good, I think. Now, who would you say you connected more with as a captain for a fan? Like, was it Kirk or Picard?
Well, I grew up in the Picard era, so
Yeah,
I liked the Picard. Here we go. We got the timeline here.
there we go. 2029.
So these are the movies 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2287. But then this is the original series in the 2260s. And then you have TNG, which is 100
The
years
Next
later.
Generation. Yeah, so it's about 100 years or so.
Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Which, it's pretty funny because Star Trek goes more into the future and Star Wars goes into the past. But somehow they have flying ships and stuff going into space. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
but Star Wars is a different galaxy.
True.
Yeah.
True. We just need to reach that galaxy, man. Snag some of their technology. Be like, hey, I'm going to take a lightsaber with me. Do you think that they should make another Star Trek trilogy, movie-wise?
No, I really wish they would just scrap all the people that they have working on it now and fire them all and give it to somebody that knows what they're doing with Star Trek.
When you think of all the Star Trek movies I've placed, what one thing remains the same? We're all focusing on the Federation.
Yeah.
I think it would be pretty cool to have a whole trilogy focus on the Klingons, or another trilogy focusing just on the Borg, or another trilogy that could correlate with the Romulans and all that stuff. And somehow they make one movie where all these actors come together, in one movie. I mean, I think it's all about the Federation, and I think it would be pretty cool to actually get more delved into like the Klingon Empire, their history, and to see characters rise up and all that stuff. That would be pretty cool. Like we've gotten episodes and all that stuff, but they're just episodes. Like it's, when you think of it, it's mostly just on the Federation, which I have no problem with. But it would just be pretty cool. Like, you introduce these things to us. Okay, now kind of show us a different side to it.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah?
I could see that.
Now, in your opinion, do you think that they could do that? They could do like a trilogy of Klingon history, a trilogy of Romulans, Borg.
Probably not with the people they have now. And Borg's...
Yeah, the Borg, that would be kind of boring, actually. A bunch of robots just walking around.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't work out. But they could probably do a Klingon one, maybe a Vulcan one.
I know that Klingons, are they like the most well known of all the races, like the Klingons, like by the
Yeah.
fans.
Yeah, they probably are. I mean, the fans know Star Trek, you know,
Yeah.
but other people like that aren't really fans, they'll know what Klingon is, you know,
And a
or a
Vulcan.
Vulcan more than anything, because
Yeah.
like Vulcans kind of made Star Trek what it was because of Leonard Nimoy, you know.
Right.
He pretty much.
Which
made
I
Star
know
Trek.
somebody who worked with him.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, who was that?
So in my old miming that I used to do,
Yeah.
our director was actually on stage with him and working with him before he became into Star Trek and everything.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
But that's a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's pretty old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool though. I was like, well, interesting. She didn't really talk much about it.
Oh, is it her?
Yeah. He went one way with his career and she went another. So
Yeah.
but
I watched the documentary on him. It was his son did the documentary.
I saw that on Netflix and I was thinking about watching it, but I was like, well, wait, there's Joe Rogan right there. Let's watch Joe Rogan.
You just saw that? I saw that a while back. I haven't. Somebody's recording a special. I don't know if it's Joe Rogan or Dave Chappelle. I forgot, but they should be out pretty soon, like next year probably.
For what?
Comedy special.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was pretty
How
good.
long does a Vulcan live?
They live longer than the regular.
Than all the other
than
races?
humans. No, not than any other race, but they do live longer. But humans live longer too. Because you'll see humans.
Interesting.
Yeah, humans will live longer because the medical's better. You know.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. So they don't die as fast. They'll
No,
live
I think Klingons live the longest, right?
I'm really
Or
not
there's
sure.
the Romulans.
Yeah, I'm really not sure who lives the longest out of all those.
You want to look it up, see?
Yeah.
I was always interested in that. I was like, how old are these guys? Because, I mean, I always thought that Vulcans probably lived the longest, but
Well, like,
I don't know.
well, Vulcans, like Spock was in the Next Generation. Which
Well,
is-
Spock wasn't full Vulcan. He was
but
half
he's
Vulcan,
human.
right?
He was half human.
Yeah.
But see, a lot of those guys, like Dr. McCoy, shows up in the very first Next Generation episode.
Yeah.
And then in Deep Space Nine, you have Klingons that are actually from the original series. They're the same actors and everything.
Interesting.
Yeah,
And that's
and they're the same.
what's the
characters.
time frame?
It's 100 years. Yeah.
Dang. Wow. Now, what is the time frame from Generations to Deep Space Nine? Because we both know that Worf was in both shows.
They were going on at the same time.
Oh, okay. So it's the
Yeah.
same. Okay.
Yeah. So, but for First Contact, Worf ends up he's serving on Deep Space Nine at the time, and then he ends up helping out Enterprise E.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. It's always good to know these things, man.
Yeah.
You know a lot more than me on this. I'm glad I asked some good questions though.
Yeah. So,
And looking at age ranges between all the races. I mean, I would think that Vulcans live the longest. But I mean, I don't really know anything about the Romulans.
they were the Romulans and the Vulcans at one time were the same race, and they split off.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's something I didn't know.
Yeah, like the Vulcans denounced their emotions, and the Romulans split off from them because they wanted to fight wars and things like that. And the Vulcans beat them, and then the Romulans took off to their own world.
Interesting. And it's the Romulans that are always picking fights with the Vulcans.
Yeah, but they really don't. Vulcans are pretty peaceful.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, it says like around The oldest ones they know are probably around 150 years
For who?
for
Oh,
Klingons.
Klingons, 150 years. That's pretty. Hey, that's pretty good, man.
They, but I mean, everybody in Star Trek's living around that long, just because the medicine's supposed to be better.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what is the Klingon homeworld? Do they have a homeworld, or are they just
Kronos or
Kronos?
Qonos.
Yeah, that's right. That's the planet that they were talking about on that documentary. We were watching a documentary on Deep Space Nine before we started this, so
Yeah, what you leave behind.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool to know. And it doesn't get destroyed at all in the history of Trek universe, because I know the Vulcans, they got their planet destroyed too, right?
Yeah, but that happened in the new movies. That never happened in the old show.
Right. Yeah, I just remembered that. Okay.
So it was like a timeline thing that changed. That's what was different about the new ones, was that they rebooted it, so it's everything that happened. Like basically, they could have rewrote all of Star Trek because they went back and the Romulan from the future, was it whoever was Nero or whoever it was in the future that came back and destroyed Kirk's dad's ship. All that shit changed the timeline.
Yeah.
So Vulcan never got destroyed in the original timeline. So that's why it's called the Kelvin universe. Yeah, so
Because they went through the black hole. I remember that, and they just changed the whole history.
yeah.
That's a new way of that's a good way of starting a new trilogy, folks. Go
Going
through a
in the black
freaking
hole.
black hole and then change some things.
Was it a black hole?
Yeah, I think it was a black hole that they created.
Oh, okay.
But, I've always been fascinated with black holes. Like, fascinated and fearful, too. Like, it was like, oh, man, that's a black hole. Like, it would be kind of creepy to go in one, because when you think of it, it would tear you up from the inside out. It'd stretch you out.
Yeah, they don't really know what black holes do yet. Because
Yeah.
they're so far away, And usually when they see one, it's...
You don't really see it. You just see the light around it being sucked in.
Yeah.
But, some people, they have their conspiracy theories. Like, I always, I don't really believe in all the conspiracy theories. It would just be nice to entertain them. Just be like, oh, okay, that could be. But I don't denounce it. I'm just like, it could be, black holes could be a doorway to another dimension. Who knows? I don't think anyone's wise enough to say it's not, because they've never been in one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that'd be interesting if there were alternate universes and dimensions and things like that. A lot of franchises mess with that, like Marvel is going to now. But I always knew about the multiverse of Marvel from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And,
DC too? Hey,
DC
don't,
too. Yeah.
Don't be hating on my DC, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
But then Star Trek has a mirror universe. It only has one, as far as I
mirror
know.
universe. What is that?
It's so different things happen in the timeline, so that
It just happens in a different way.
yeah. So there's still the
Oh.
same. They still got the same ships and stuff. But they're all like evil. Like, so all the humans are evil, and then most of the aliens are like slaves, or they're fighting against other aliens.
Interesting.
Actually, that was like that in Discovery. So Discovery was all the humans against all the other aliens, and then in Star Trek, the original series, it was something else. I think Spock was on the ship, but it's called, instead of the Federation, it's called the Terran Empire.
Okay.
And then in
That's a cool way of doing it.
yeah.
Like, I always think, like, all these other universes that these trilogies have made, like Marvel and DC, Star Trek, Star Wars. I always thought though that Star Trek, they did it more uniquely.
Yeah.
Like they had a lot more brain muscle behind it, which I always loved. Like, I mean, shoot, man. they started a new trilogy because one guy's like, no, this is what goes on in history. All right, we'll enter into this black hole, destroy this, and just completely make our own history.
Yeah.
I'm like, oof, interesting.
Is it J.J. Abrams you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, DC has done that with Flashpoint, but I don't know Marvel. I mean, I don't know much about Marvel, like the comic books history, but I don't know if they've done something like that.
Oh, like a reboot?
Yeah.
Oh, they rebooted the comics a bunch of times, you know.
Yeah.
So they could write more in the timeline.
Now, I actually have been hearing this across the YouTube and everything, how they're thinking about, the studios are actually thinking about not going off the comic books anymore. Like getting rid of that source material. Which I'm kind of on the fence about. Like, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing because, I mean, oh shoot, like,
Well, they kind of don't. They're not strict to the comics.
they're not.
Yeah.
They're not. I mean, there are homages to it.
Yeah.
But I
Like
mean,
things that happen.
I'm
in
not
the
against
comics.
it though. Like of them going against the grain, you know, and creating a whole new story. And I mean, Star Trek's done that, and that made them successful.
they
Across
kinda-
different shows too, like Deep Space Nine. That was like we were just talking about that. That was new
Yeah.
to all the fans. Like, yeah, it probably wasn't as loved back then, but now, dude, it's like a good wine, man. It gets better through time.
Yeah.
But do you think they should do that? Like studios should just get rid of all the source material of the comic books and just create
Well, you see
their
what
own
happens
stories,
when-
because it does give the writers more freedom. They don't have to go like, oh, we have to do this because it has to correlate with this comic book. With that, it just gives writers a whole new imagination, which I'm all for. I'm all for that.
I really don't think they keep locked to it. Like different things did happen, like Civil War. I think they used them because they were interesting. You know, like the source material was interesting. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say. You know, if they go away from the source material, I think it could be okay. But I mean, there's great references in the comics. You know,
Right.
like what they have. What was the next thing that they were talking about doing? The Secret Wars.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited about that. I'm
Yeah.
actually really excited about that. And I really liked, like, even though it was crapped on by some of the Marvel fans, was it Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel?
Oh yeah.
That show, I mean, that movie, sorry, guys, that actually did pretty well incorporating the Skrulls
Yeah.
and bringing them in, because in the comic books, I don't know if you read it, but they were actually like very evil.
No.
They're very evil. They were like a parasite, a virus coming in planet to planet, conquering it and making it their own. But in this, they were actually refugees, which is actually kind of cool. I like that. And the Kree were the bad guys. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that movie. That was a good movie.
Yeah. I'm excited to see where they go from here. Like, we all know that they're going to go more into space,
Yeah.
which I'm all for. I'm
Yeah.
all for. Guardians of the Galaxy did it, and that was very popular. You got that in Captain Marvel.
I like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
There were parts of the second one I didn't like. I was like, that's kind of cheesy. That's not that good, you know?
I like the second one too, though. Yeah.
Like, hands down, the best part of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was Baby Groot.
Yeah.
Hands down. But he doesn't fare anything to you, Baby Yoda.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
'Cause, I mean, when you think of it, like Marvel didn't really capitalize too much on Baby Groot.
Right.
Star Wars, however, really has capitalized on Baby Yoda.
Yeah. Now that they're able to sell the merchandise, have they sold all the merchandise yet?
I believe so.
Hmm.
That would be. I told this foo for his birthday I'm gonna get him a nice Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
He can carry everywhere. But I don't like those ones that like talk to you. Wink its eyes. I'm like, nah, that's just a little too creepy for me.
Yeah.
I just want a little one that I can put on my truck. We can go on adventures together.
Did you know that the voice for Chucky was Luke Skywalker?
What?
Yeah. The original Chucky.
Dude, Mark Hamill,
Yeah.
best Joker voice.
Yeah.
Very good with Luke Skywalker and now Chucky. Oh my God, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Jason, you just opened up a huge Pandora box for me. Like I never knew that. It's like a new way of thinking about things.
I didn't know how many Chuckies he did, but he did the first one.
Okay,
Yeah. So I imagine he did the second one.
but hands down, he is the best Joker voice in my opinion.
He's a great voice actor.
Dude. I mean that laugh, the way that he just conducts himself, that's just so amazing about voice actors is that you don't see them yet they really impact you from the screen to you. You know what I mean? Like you're just like, oh my gosh. Like that one, the first Batman movie I ever saw, animated Batman movie I ever saw, guys, was Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
Oh.
Dude. Gold.
Which one was that?
You don't know it?
No.
That's the one where the girl that he was dating ends up. Okay, sorry guys. Spoiler. If you haven't seen it, you should have. Made in the early 90s, you should have watched it already. Not my fault. But the girl he was dating was the Phantasm. Joker, your angel of death awaits. The guy with the smoke. Kind of like a Darth Vader kind of look, but gray and black, and has this metal kind of hook thing on his arm.
I don't know if I've seen that.
Oh my God. Okay, after this, we're gonna watch some of that. It's on. I think it's on. Oh shoot, that's actually a good. I think it's either DC Universe or HBO Max. It should be on, but I'll just go on Google here real quick and have you look at it and go. It was made in 1993. Oh, we had the VHS for that.
I remember this.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good one. Did you ever see The Killing Joke?
No, I haven't.
I like that one.
I heard from the fans like they didn't really like it because Batman and Batgirl kind of had a thing together.
Oh yeah.
Like the fans were just kind of an outrage for that. But I'll give it a look. I watched Red Hood though.
Oh, I don't think I saw it. Wait, is that the one where then the acid?
No, it's the one where Red Hood is the one where Joker beats Jason Todd. There we go. You guys probably started to doubt my intelligence there in DC Universe fandom. But Jason Todd, like Joker beats Jason Todd, nearly pummels him to death with a freaking crowbar and nearly kills him. And Batman thought he did kill him. and then somehow Jason Todd was brought into the League of Shadows, and they put him in the what's that pool? The pool,
the Lazarus Pit.
Lazarus Pit. There you go.
I think I did see that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he becomes Red Hood. I mean, his face is all scarred up and all that stuff, which is why he puts a red hood on. Which actually, in the comic books, when Joker started out, he wore a red hood.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was probably his way of kind of like earning in with the mob bosses, because they probably thought it was Joker or something like that. I don't know. Interesting take though. But that dude, yeah, that movie, Batman Mask of the Phantasm, I believe it was the first Batman animated movie that came out.
Oh, really?
Because it came when the animated show was in. Remember that show? Oh my god. The opening scene was amazing. But yeah, that was a really good movie, and Mark Hamill is Joker in that movie, and he does a very, very good job. Like, good job to that, man. Okay, so
we could look up Mark Hamill's characters.
Yeah, let's do that. We talked a lot today already. We talked about Star Wars, Star Trek, Back to the Future, DC, Marvel.
Mark Hamill.
And we can see what else he's
According
played.
to Wikipedia, Mark Richard Hamill is an American actor, voice actor, and writer.
Writer, too. I wonder what movies he's written.
He's probably written shows.
Yeah, probably.
So
It was in Avatar?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
What did he play in as Avatar? In Avatar, the show. Did you hear that they were making a new Avatar show?
Yeah, it's supposed to be live action.
Live action too. So, okay. I'm kind of on the fence with that because the movies,
Yeah,
the movie, sorry,
it's
was
supposed to be
not that
better.
good.
It's supposed to be better.
It is?
Yeah.
Who's helming it?
I'm not sure. We could look that one up too.
Okay. Hey, all the time in the world, man. It's freaking Labor Day weekend, baby.
So Star Wars.
Okay.
He was also in Empire Strikes Back,
Really?
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back.
and he was in Return of the Jedi.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's crazy. He was Vuli in Elena of Alvalor. He was in something called The Wizards, which looks like a Talk Argadia. Do you know what that is?
Nah, never heard of it.
Royalties 2020. What We Do in the Shadows. A lot of kids stuff. The Last Kids. Scooby Doo. He's Trickster.
He was also in a couple of old the old Flash show.
He's a voice in Mandalorian.
What?
Yeah, EV9D9.
Okay, now we gotta watch a Mandalorian again.
Which
Before we
one's that?
leave, we're gonna watch one episode of that. You want to?
Which one's that?
I have no clue. I mean, we obviously know it's a robot, but we gotta find out which robot that is.
He's a Joker and
You know, it
Robot
might be
chicken.
the. Sorry, it might be that little robot that annoyed. No, that's Star Wars of Rise of Skywalker. I'm kind of mixing the two, and I can't do that. There's a big difference between Skywalker and Mandalorian, folks.
so he was in Child's Play 2019. He was in Child's
They
Play
did a new. I never after the first Chucky movie, man. I just was not into it. Like frick, man. Like remember that show that movie with Tommy Lee Jones in it? He played a soldier, little plastic soldier.
Oh yeah.
What was it called? We were
Toy soldiers.
Toy Soldiers.
Oh.
That friggin' shit creeped me the fuck out, dude.
Yeah.
Like your toys literally coming alive and beating the shit out of you. It's not ain't no Toy Story, dude, where they wait for you to play with them. No, they come up to your ass when you're asleep and they freaking beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. No, I like that movie. That was Tommy Lee Jones. I'm not sure who else is in that.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I've never really been a fan of Chucky. Never really a fan of horror per se. Like if I do watch a horror flick with my girl, it's very rare and few between.
Who's Arnim Zola in Spider-Man? Yeah.
Right over my head.
He's in some of those.
He played the trickster in the old Flash show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then he played the trickster again in the new Flash show.
They got him trickster in something I saw right here. Scooby Doo.
Wow. He just loves that name, I guess. Interesting.
What else do we got here?
He's got quite the repertoire, dude. What was that, Batman? That DC one? What's that one?
Justice League.
Joker.
And then he's also the Swamp Thing.
The Swamp Thing.
Yeah, in the Justice League.
Oh, okay. Pretty cool, though, man. Like, if you were to be any actor, it'd be pretty cool to be Mark Hamill, man. Like, he loves his fans. Like,
He's got quite a bit of
yeah.
cartoons.
Jeez.
James Jesse and the Flash.
Yep.
This character Arnim Zola, he plays it in a lot of Spider-Man.
He played in the Arkham games, too.
Hmm.
So he is, like, he could do anything. He could be in video games. He can be in animated shows, animated movies, big time blockbusters. It's just pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Like his scope. Pretty phenomenal.
Oh, he's Darth Bane in the Clone Wars.
There you go.
That's pretty cool.
You know what's funny is when I was a younger kid, I was extremely introverted. Then I turned into an extrovert during high school, in the middle of high school, and then into my early 20s. And it was near like the end of my 20s into my 30s, and now going into almost my mid 30s, is I become more introverted again. It's kind of funny how you go in and you go out, being extroverted or introverted. And I think being introverted now during the coronavirus really helped me out, because I really don't give a fuck if I, go to the club, hang out with my friends, that kind of thing. I'm just like, yeah, I'm doing me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I got my brother, I got my family. Do you think that during a crisis, it's easier to be an introvert?
Well, and in ways, I guess that's what's going on. But I mean, I'm sure it changed a lot of people's perceptions on life and how they deal with people. Social media has gone out of control. Media in general has gone out of control.
It's kind of like Joe Rogan talked about this, has talked about it several times, where social media is actually kind of like us finding fire again. And we don't know what that does. Like, we're setting flames on everything. We're setting flames on fields, and we don't give a fuck about people, And I think when we start gravitating more towards being just fucking considerate again, I wouldn't call you an extrovert or an introvert. Like, you, throughout almost your whole life, you've kind of played that line.
Yeah.
You've had areas where you were introverted. You didn't really want to be around a huge group of people. And then there are other areas where you're just like, let's go out, let's go out, let's go have some fun kind of thing.
I think I learned a lot about people over the years, and it's easy to judge people. Um, and I think it's easier to kind of gauge and learn when you're quiet. You know, even though I'm not usually quiet around people, and then sometimes I'll throw out things as tests to certain people to see if I
Yeah.
can trust them. But
Yeah.
see, you do that so much, or some things like you want to keep protected, but I've always had the mentality of not caring. But then,
Mm.
you know, if it does come back to bite you in the ass because you told something that you shouldn't necessarily have told a certain person,
Yeah.
then it's kind of on you to learn whether or not you can do that again.
Yeah. I've learned the hard way of that.
Yeah, I have too. But it's also like you could also throw out little things to see where that goes or what's the reaction, you know, and then kind of go off of that. But then I've also, you know, of dealing with certain people, like if you see certain looks and then in a certain person, then but that person is like pretty much no good, but then you see the way they look, you know, or the facial expression they make, and then another person years later you see that same facial expression, it will remind you of that person from 10 years before.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10 there's some of that same personality in those looks, you know, and or the way a person looks. If a person looks a certain way, they probably are that way, you know, and which is kind of like judging, but it's I mean it's the way it is. Like I forgot who told me that, but if a person looks a certain way, they probably are, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, one thing I've learned, it was kind of crazy how your brain kind of evolves as you get older. You know what I mean? Like your frontal lobe of your brain just evolves and you get more mature. And one thing I've learned, like we said, the hard way, is I remember the exact day too. Like I was like, man, I'm just tired of people talking shit about me. I'm tired of people thinking I'm like this. And then I got to a point where I was like, wait, I am like that. So what am I gonna do? Well, stop talking shit. Stop trying to create your own version of reality and stop trying to create chaos and just be chill. Like if people entrust you with information, all right, that's cool, man. Thank you for trusting me with that. One thing I'm good at is I actually it's fun. Maybe it's because I'm getting older now, but when people entrust me with information, after they tell me, I almost always forget about what they just told me. And they're just like, "Did you say anything about what?" "Oh, okay, never mind." I'm like, "I don't remember." But other times I'm just like, you know what? People's trying to get some information out of me. I'm just like, why are you asking me? It's none of your business. And that's another thing is when I was younger, I was very insecure about wanting people to like me and wanting people to give a shit. And now I'm just like, you know, I don't give a shit if what you think, what you say, and I just want to keep my circle of friends and that trust strong. And how you do that? That comes with time. That comes with patience. That comes with trust. And I really learned to understand that in order for me to get to that point, I had to really cut all the bullshit and listen to people, care about the time frame that they wanted this information out. So that's about that. I was actually I was really glad that whole conversation went very well. I like this name that we chose, though, dude. What the sci-fi? That was pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Life of Pi. Did you ever watch that movie?
No.
It's a pretty trippy movie. It's pretty trippy. Pretty much like a movie about this guy finding his own religion in all the religions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm a Jew, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim.
Mm.
He's all these things. It was kind of like, whoa. But the freaking visuals, dude, like, that's another thing I want to talk about, dude. And we can talk about it until, for like 10 minutes. But the CGI, dude, like, we have gotten to a point now where it's really hard to tell if something's CGI or not.
Yeah.
Like, it's gotten crazy. Like, The Mandalorian, dude, I did not know this, but almost all those scenes, oh, actually, yeah, all those scenes, CGI. The desert, CGI.
Yeah.
Freaking amazing.
Yeah, I like their work on that. It's pretty cool.
Do you,
I'm gonna get a tea. Do you want a tea?
yeah, let's get some tea. Sorry, we went longer than I wanted to, but we talked a lot, though, dude. We talked a lot about good stuff. Yeah, I'll try this one. Oh, berry blue. Nice. I chose well. But you know what's also amazing though, dude, is that since we're talking about CGI, like, I'm pretty amazed of like old movies back in the early 90s that were made and they still hold up to today. You think of Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. Like, that freaking T-Rex looked really fucking real.
Yeah, that's because that's not CGI.
Yeah, well, I think part of it was,
Oh, really?
like, they did like a half body on it.
Hmm.
From like the stomach up was the T-Rex.
Mm. Yeah, because Star Wars CGI wasn't very good.
For back then, though, it was good. Back
The
then.
90s?
No, Star Wars came out in the 70s, dude.
I know. I'm talking about the first 3 episodes.
Oh. Yeah, that was a piece of shit, dude.
Yeah, and that was actually some of the first fully CGI characters. The first fully CGI character was Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, that was... Oh, shit, dude. If you guys listened to our last episode, it was... we did not take too fondly of... well, at least I didn't take too fondly of Jar Jar Binks. But it would have been cool if they actually... Like, he was the master and somehow he ended up dying at the end of Phantom Menace. And you found out that he was a Sith Lord, the main Sith Lord, you know? And then Darth Sidious killed him in his sleep, you know? And that would have been cool. I would have been down for that.
Yeah.
I didn't like his big mouth. But one thing that Star Wars has got over Star Trek, over any other movie, I think, is sounds. You know what I mean?
Ooh, Star Wars?
Yeah. Like, when you think of like the pod race, all the different engines, like, you're thinking like, where does that sound from? And you hear it's like, you know, they put something into like a drum set and they bang it or something like that. Something like that, you know, where you're like, what?
The Foley. That's what they call the Foley.
That's what's called?
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty amazing though, man. Like, how these engineering minds thought about creating a sound for these engines, and even like monsters and stuff like that, beasts in Star Wars. You're like, what the heck, dude? It's kind of cool. Like, I'm always interested in source material that brings along new races and languages. And like, if you got one thing you guys have to know about me, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Like, bigger than DC. Like, I'm pretty big with DC, but even bigger with the Tolkien verse.
Yeah.
I love Lord of the Rings. I love The Hobbit. It's I'm looking forward to the Amazon show that they're going to be doing. They're in the middle of doing it right now in New Zealand, which is actually kind of funny because, New Zealand did it right. They only had, one person die from coronavirus? And
Oh,
so they
yeah.
were able to actually go back to work much sooner than anybody else. And I'm really excited about this show, dude. Like the Amazon show. Once it starts playing, you and I can watch it together, dude. It's gonna be amazing. There's gonna be going back to like the Second Age, 3,000 years before Lord of the Rings, and it's gonna go into like Sauron's rise of power after Morgoth. Morgoth, if anyone doesn't know, Morgoth is actually Sauron's master. He's pretty much devil himself, and Sauron is his henchman. If you've seen Lord of the Rings, you're like, he's a henchman? He was pretty bad in Lord of the Rings. Yeah, but how did he get to be that bad? That's the question, and that's one thing you guys have to find out in reading the books and through the show if you guys are willing to watch it once it comes out. I mean, Amazon, dude, just the rights alone, they paid $250 million just so that they can have the rights for the Second Age.
Yeah.
They don't have the rights for the First Age. They have the rights for the Third Age. Well, Warner Brothers does. But Amazon, they have the rights for the Second Age. So therefore, they are able, which I think is the best age because more shit happens in the Second Age. Like Sauron, you think of Sauron, he comes to power. He makes the rings of power. The ring of power and the other rings to go out towards the 7 rings for the dwarves. 9 rings for men, and the 3 rings for the elves, and then you see the Numenorians, which, dude, those guys are a powerhouse when it comes to shipbuilding and technology, and they literally defeated Sauron when Sauron was coming in and trying to defeat the elves. Like, he came in, the Numenorian ships came in and they pushed him from where the Shire was all the way back down to Mordor. Just beat his butt. These were high men who were taller than most men. They were stronger than most men. They lived longer than most men. It's pretty much Captain America, guys. Armies of Captain America. Think about that. Oh my God. It would just be amazing to see. Huh?
What was that on?
That is the new Amazon show that's going to be coming in. They're filming right now. So I'm really excited, guys. Like, it's a good time to be a fan, dude. Like, this one I'm thinking now is, like, there are more things that we are getting now as fans than we have ever gotten when we were kids, bro.
Yeah.
Like, who would have thought we would have had a live action Avengers movie? Who would have thought that we would have had Lord of the Rings movies, DC movies, Star Trek movies, Star Trek shows. I don't know much about Star Trek comic books. Are they pretty big too with comic books?
I don't know if they're that big. I know that they've had some newer ones recently. I think Star Wars is bigger with comic books.
Yeah.
Books, but I mean they have a lot of Star Trek books. I've never read any of them. I might have read one. No, I think I read a Star Wars book.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. Just to let you guys know how far in the loop I am, but out of the loop I am. But
See, do you get this? Look at this.
What is this?
It's supposed to be the Joe Rogan experience, but it's like
It doesn't let you play it.
no, I can play it. It's not in order.
Oh. Yep, it's not. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, I don't get that on mine. Mine's all in order when I go into my Spotify. And just so you know, Jace, like, look at this. Like, you just hit play. Like, I'm still listening to Tyson and talking about Tyson and stuff. Like, that's it.
Yeah,
Right there.
That's how mine is. Let's see.
Now I watch from my phone. Spotify paid him money so that he could put his shit on their platform. They paid him. That's just rad, dude. Yeah, it's just audio, dude. That sucks. But you want to watch this when we can get done with this podcast? We can cut it close right now. And next week, guys, we're gonna really push hard to be in the studio.
Yeah.
We're just gonna see how this sounds and everything.
It's got the.
We try to do a video, but video just having some technical difficulties. Really do appreciate your guys' patience with us as we go through this experience and for the first time. Have you done podcasts before?
No.
Yeah. So
I've been
we're both
on one.
Oh, you have been on one. Oh, yeah, for 91X and stuff? Yeah, so this is my first time ever. So
Local band. Yeah, that was it. Though.
all right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for tuning in to What?
This side.
Peace.
You've been listening to What the Sci-Fi.